Hey guys, it looks like there's been some confusion on who I am. So I didn't want to say this for the longest time because I was afraid of what people would think about me. But I do believe that I am better than all of you. Mostly all of you that are watching this video, I think that I'm a better Christian and a better person than all of you. Psh, just kidding. I've had a few people make the assumption that I think that I'm better than everybody else. And I just want to let you guys know that's not the case. You may not even believe me what I'm about to say right now. But I need you guys to understand how messed up of a person that I am. First off, I'm a really lazy person, and sometimes I don't want to work out or get up from the couch. I'd rather just sit on my computer all day. That's pretty bad, especially when my daughter wants attention from me and I have to give it to her. Some days I feel like I'm failing as a parent because of that. Another reason I'm completely messed up is because I am a very insecure person. Some of you watching my videos might be like, oh, she's so secure in herself and her beliefs. No, I'm not really. And my biggest insecurity in my life thus far is really a social insecurity. It stems back from middle school when I used to get made fun of and I really had no friends. It's really this insecurity of like, nobody likes me. And sometimes when I'm in a social group of people that are like, maybe they're cooler than me, or maybe they like have more money than I do, or maybe they're just genuinely nicer and more compassionate and they have a lot more friends, I get really introverted. I'm already an introvert, but I do have this really weird insecurity with social friendships sometimes, and it's something that I have to work on every single day because I'm one of those people that if I make friends with somebody and then I text them or I email them or whatever and they don't respond just because they're busy or they have stuff going on in their life, I automatically assume that they don't like me anymore. Like it's definitely a problem, you know, especially when you are really trying to be a leader and you're trying to really set the example of how other people should live. And I just want you guys to know this is a daily struggle for me. Sometimes I feel like I'm being talked about or made fun of behind my back just because that's what I was used to when I was younger. And it's just crazy how those insecurities from our past, they follow us to our future. I'm not saying that every single day I live by those insecurities, but it's really hard to shake those sometimes. You know what, guys? Another thing that I have a really hard time with is really confessing Jesus' name all the time. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys because you watch my videos and you may think that some of the stuff that we talk about is controversial. I mean, I just lost like 25 subscribers so far from the last video that I posted, and I was expecting that because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want to hear what I have to say even if they don't agree with it. There are martyrs in the world right now, in Iraq, Iran, all this stuff going on right now with ISIS, that are standing up for their faith. They are proclaiming the name of Jesus, and they are getting brutally tortured and killed in front of their family and their friends. That to me is somebody who proclaims the gospel in a bold way. What I do here on YouTube when I make videos and I'm just telling you guys what I feel like God should tell me to tell you guys, that's not even like a little sliver of what Christians in other countries have to deal with. You know what? Sometimes I sit here and I go, what kind of faith do I have? Like, I'm not out there on the streets every weekend giving food to the homeless. I'm not, you know, helping out the widows and the poor on a daily basis. Like, sometimes I only do those things like twice a year. But we're supposed to be doing that in our everyday life. And you know what, guys? I am not that kind of Christian. I want to be that kind of Christian, but I'm not that kind of Christian in my life right now. And that's something that I need to work on. I am absolutely no better than you. The Bible tells us that a sin is a sin. So you know what? Just the fact that sometimes I think about hurting someone, or maybe I'll think about stealing something, or you know, anything that has a human tendency, that automatically makes me a big sinner, and I'm already the same as you in God's eyes. Like, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you've murdered somebody. I don't care if you've had sex with 25 different people. Sometimes because of my really introverted nature, I can come across as really rude, I guess you can say, because I'm just not naturally talkative. Like, if you guys were to find me out in public somewhere, you would see that I'm much more to myself. I'm much more reserved. On this channel I talk out a lot, obviously, because I make videos for fun, but like in my everyday life, I am much more to myself. I'm also not one of those Christians that's like super sweet like my best friend Bethany. Sometimes I look at her and I'm just like, how is it even possible? Like, if I'm with a group of people for longer than 10 minutes, I need time to myself in like my corner by myself. Sometimes I'm really arrogant, especially in my marriage. I don't like to say I'm sorry first. I overeat, I complain. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in that whole like US mentality of like, oh, that's mine, I deserve to have this, I want to have that my way, because that's what we are taught growing up, and that's really like what our culture has kind of shaped us to be. And sometimes I fall under that stereotype, absolutely. I lose my patience with Eden on a daily basis. She'll be crying about something and she won't stop, and you know what, sometimes I just have to go to another room and just separate myself from her and just breathe. We all deal with these things, and I want you guys to know that I go through my daily struggles all the time, and in my daily vlogs I talk about them a lot. But I will never be that person who claims that I know everything or that I have all my stuff together. I can promise you that. When I was younger, I used to think those kind of things, and now that I'm older, I realize that I don't know anything. I know like this much about life. If I could be the person that I've always envisioned of being, that would be awesome. But the fact of the matter is, I'm probably never going to be that person, no matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I try to live up to those expectations, no matter how much I try to change myself or to change my values, or maybe to read the Bible more or pray more or whatever. Like, I'm always going to have fault. These core issues inside of me, these problems inside of me, they're always going to be in the core inside of me. There's just gonna come a time in my life where I'm gonna have moments where I can react on those things that are inside of me, whether it's depression or hurt or anger or anxiety or bitterness or whatever, or I can choose to not act on it. Everything in life is pretty much beyond our control. It's all about giving him the control, and then we're able to really live our lives. I don't have my life together at all. I never will. And I don't expect you to, because you never will either. And all of us are just a bunch of people trying to live in a fallen world, and we're messing up on a daily basis. And it's just about what we do after we mess up and what we do after we fall. Are you gonna give it to him, or are you gonna let those situations define who you are? You guys watch my videos and sometimes feel conflicted or confused, or maybe even like uncomfortable. I think there's a purpose for that. I love you guys, and I hope you know in your heart of hearts that I'm no better than you, or you, or you, or you, any of you guys watching. So if you are not subscribed yet to this channel, go ahead and subscribe if you want to, or if you enjoyed this video. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and we will see you in our next video.